Well, hello friends. Welcome back to Advanced Weekly Update. We are
亲爱的爸妈，你
Where's Mom? She's not here.
同盟会，阿多噶。
And people often ask me, did you think you were going to stay there that long? And I said, I don't know I was going to live that long, but we don't know how long we're going to live, but we should cherish every day, 要珍惜每一天，因为真的每一天就是神给我们一个机会 and together we can do a good thing for God's work. So thank you so much for all you've done.
Doris, happy birthday. We love you full of health and happiness.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Well, friends, as you can see, this is a pretty special time for our company. Doris Brahm, one of our founders, is being celebrated. She turned 96 this year, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That's like our ages combined plus
a few.
Plus another small child at least.
A couple.
So Doris has this amazing life story. She has seen more history than many of us could even imagine, and her contributions to education in Taiwan are being honored through this musical, which is really beautiful. I cried during seeing a part of it. I'm actually now in the musical, so come and see us in Tainan on October 14th and 15th, and in Hualien on November 12th and 13th. You can get tickets either on our website, Chen. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. 英爱启程我的中文很不好，所以谢谢 for 你的平安 your patience.
Check the Facebook page.
Check the Facebook page. But it really is worth seeing. It's a beautiful, moving tribute to a woman who has dedicated her whole life towards blessing the people of Taiwan. She's a real inspiration to all of us at Studio Classroom. So check that out. We'll talk more about that later on. Today, we are also talking about stories. I have my resident story expert, Simon, here. Simon actually teaches a class on the narrative.
On stories, yeah.
On stories,
Yeah.
right? What's the name? What title do you go with?
It goes on over several years, the classes. There's
Okay.
different parts.
Okay.
So we usually use the word narrative in the name of the class. Narrative just means story.
Okay, like a narrator in a movie or a show is the voice that tells the story.
right.
Yeah.
So we have classes on like narrative elements, which is parts of stories, or narrative techniques, like how to tell a story by writing or speaking.
What are some basic parts of the story? What are some good English terms? Maybe people are studying English literature. What are some terms for stories?
Well, I mean, this is advanced, so most of our listeners here will be familiar with these terms already, but they might not connect them with the idea of studying stories. So, for example, we use very basically terms like setting, which means the time and place of a story. We talk about the characters, that's the people that are in the story. We talk about events, that's things happening in the story. Plot, that's sort of how the story events are connected to each other.
Yeah.
Lots of different terms like that.
Neat. So as you're writing stories, it's helpful to know kind of the ingredients of a good story, as if you were a chef baking a good tasting cake. Telling good stories is difficult.
Oh, well, I would say even if you're not writing stories, it's useful to know that stuff. Just so you can enjoy stories, because you can kind of understand how the story works and what things mean at a much higher level if you're familiar with how stories work. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point. And today we're going to talk about Disney, a very famous storytelling company, and we're going to talk about Korean dramas, the stories we all know and love. We also have a comment from Alan. Alan actually has met Doris at our Taipei book fair, which we haven't had in person in a few years with COVID. He met her and he was glad to receive her encouragement in English learning. Alan, thanks for sharing that. Please share your Doris stories. She is always encouraged by the impact she's had in people's lives, as we all are. It's helpful to look back and be encouraged. So we're going to put up our poll question really quick. Our poll question is, what is your favorite genre of film or TV? You probably know the word genre. Can you give us a good technical definition of genre?
Kind.
Kind.
What's your favorite kind of TV show?
Yeah.
That's really it.
What kind?
Well, because they break down into different types. Like, for example, funny shows are often called comedies. Things that are like kind of more emotional and tension. We say drama.
Right.
You know, people shooting at each other. It's like action.
Yeah. There, I heard that a lot of companies that are international choose action as their genre because it's easy to convey a car chase, but it's difficult to convey subtle humor. You know, something that's funny in one culture might be actually very offensive in another culture.
I can see that.
Yeah, but a car chase...
I've told a lot of jokes that
just...
no laughing.
It's like, no, why would you talk about that? Yeah, so it's important to know culture with genre. So far, it looks like drama is getting the most votes. So if you're just logging in, please give us your feedback.
That's actually my choice. I don't know if we're supposed to give our answer.
Please, yeah. Why? But why?
I wonder if my fans are actually on this live stream right now.
Maybe so.
Supporting my favorite choice.
Vote.
Wouldn't that be great?
Why do you like drama?
Vote drama, people. Vote drama. I just think it's... well, okay, so the first thing I should say is the kind of show I want to watch very much depends on my mood.
It's
at different
true.
times, right?
Right.
So there's times when, you know, I would really enjoy watching comedy. Other times when I would really enjoy watching drama. But I would say, in general, like, if I'm going to watch a series, chances are the series will be a drama. And I think the main reason for that is it's just kind of... you know, it's like you can feel emotions and excitement and tension that maybe you wouldn't normally feel in your day-to-day life.
That's right.
So it's like you get to live more fully as a person without actually having these terrible things happen to you.
So the famous North African bishop, he was a famous Christian in North Africa named Augustine, I know you're familiar with. Augustine made the comment about the theater. During his time, you had the Roman Empire in its last stages, and theater was very popular. And a lot of parents didn't want their kids to go spend too much time in the theater, just like you might not want your kids to spend their whole time playing video games or watching movies. But parents were really interested in getting their kids to be wealthy enough that they could be patrons for the theater, so to be able to fund it. So Augustine noticed there's sort of this irony there. Yeah. But dramas can capture something very real about the human existence. Okay, let's talk about Disney for a second.
Okay.
What is Disney doing, and how have they changed over time? There's a lot in this, but what's your take on Disney's storytelling style?
I think they're making a lot of money. That's the first thing that comes to mind. They found a good formula for making movies that are always popular and stay popular for a really long time. So there's sort of this advanced level English term that we kind of use to describe this. The word is archetype.
Archetype. ARCHETYPE.
That's
archetype.
it.
Okay.
And an archetype is usually we would kind of define it as being like the first example of something.
Okay.
Or maybe like the best example of something. So a good example of that would be like an archetype of a sports car would be something like a Ferrari.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like the Falali. Because I'll try to translate
Lightning McQueen in Disney terms.
Just because if you ask people to name like a sports car, much of the time that will be what they will say.
Yeah.
They won't say, you know, I don't know, Ford Mustang or something.
Sure.
So they'll name like a Ferrari. And so that's a good example of an archetype. So we have a lot of these in stories. And so basically that's why we feel feelings about the characters in the stories, even though we've never experienced those things ourselves. Like we can understand what's going on with the characters. And Disney is really good at using archetypes.
They are, and you're actually, just like Luna mentions in our live stream feed, Luna says that she's a sentimental person. Me too, Luna. My mood always goes up and down with the plot. Yeah, and it really, we call that being along for the ride, like a roller coaster. When you care about the characters, and when something sad happens, you feel sad. In our article this month, Luna, as you might have already seen, our article on Korean dramas talks about what the formula is and the archetypes of two characters that are in love, but they're always a little bit distant, and they're having a hard time to get married or be together, because there's always this tension. And so Korean dramas are really good at keeping your heart engaged, because you have the archetypal...
Because we all know that pain, you know?
Yeah.
We all know that pain.
Yeah.
We can identify,
Yeah.
understand.
Right, yeah. It's a good story will connect at a very deep level with what humans' emotions are. All right, friends, let's quickly go to our final question, and we're almost out of time for this week. The final question is there a TV show that has ever strongly impacted you emotionally? And feel free to share. Take a chance to just practice your English, send us a comment, and even if you want to think about it, and comment later on when this goes onto YouTube, feel free to just publish that and we'll respond to it throughout the week. But we'd love to hear what has been helpful. Maybe it's an English show or an international show. Any closing thoughts on, has there ever been a show that has really gotten you?
So very many.
Yeah.
So very many over time.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have very much time, but I will tell you that this last year on Netflix, I watched a very old show, like a show from the 1990s.
Which one?
It's called Dawson's Creek.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a show that was really popular in the
Super
90s.
popular. Yeah.
I didn't watch it when it was actually on TV.
No, yeah, I think it might have been a little bit past.
But it was kind of, I don't know, the wrong age group or the wrong interest for my stage in life when it was on TV. But
a drama.
Yeah. But the thing I recently realized about it was probably the last big American drama before everybody had cell phones.
Interesting.
And so
Interesting.
I watched it and I just couldn't believe how differently people were portrayed in the series as living, because nobody had a cell phone.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you've just opened a can of worms. That's an English expression that means you've opened a whole nother topic that we want to get into. Well, Simon, thank you for being on the live stream today. Guys, thank you for listening.
People.
Vote drama. Please subscribe, and it's very helpful for us. So remember, check out our shows in Tainan on October 14th and 15th, and in Hualien. This is The Journey of Love on November 12th and 13th in Hualien. It should be a fun show, so be sure to get tickets. They're somewhat limited. All right, see you guys. God bless, and thank you for tuning in.